The public humiliation of Nancy Pelosi and her Democrat caucus of sycophants who dare not oppose her is actually an embarrassment to watch. Her impeachment of the 45th president of the United States is born not of truth, facts, or evidence, but rather of an historic vitriolic hatred usually reserved for an enemy of the state. In the end, it is her animosity, frenetic, irrational, and baseless actions against this president that will ultimately hoist her on her own petard. And might I add, no one deserves it more. You'll recall the urgency of her claim as she wrapped herself in the American flag.
Perhaps you have not heard me when I have said, this is something we do with a heavy heart. This is very prayerful, because impeaching is a divisive thing in our country.
Yeah, right. And don't forget this one.
Our democracy is what is at stake. The president leaves us no choice but to act, because he is trying to corrupt, once again, the election for his own benefit. The president has engaged in abuse of power, undermining our national security and jeopardizing the integrity of our elections. His actions are in defiance of the vision of our founders and the oath of office that he takes to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
So she rushed the vote because of the urgency involved. We cannot wait. We've got to stop him. The president is going to do it again. And the sky is falling too. And yet there was no case to send to the Senate, so like a child caught in a lie, she dithered for weeks, hoping something, anything might happen to make the president look bad. But every day he kept on working and winning. So finally she explained her reason for procrastinating. She wanted to ensure a fair trial in the Senate. Now ain't that thoughtful? She was so caught up in her own image as the imperious Queen Nancy that she, of the lower house, imagined herself the doyenne of the upper house, the Senate chamber, of which she has never been, nor will she ever be, a member. Fair? The woman whose historic hate played out for all to see wants to ensure a fair Senate trial for the president? The mistress of the Star Chamber, intent on taking down our leader in the sub-basement of the Capitol, away from the eyes and the ears of the public and most of Congress, leaking through her minion, Adam Schiff, himself a jester in her court, acting out a false, slanderous, untrue, libelous reading of the transcript of the president's Ukraine call. And there could be no rebuttal, no cross-examination, no calling of witnesses, and certainly no counsel for the president allowed. Nancy, you said the president was welcome to come and exonerate himself. Of what or why, no one knows, since the transcript itself exonerates him. But in your chamber, you upend the Constitution, putting centuries-old jurisprudence on its head, and shift the burden of proof to the accused without even advising him of the charges. You know, folks, it's never been about truth or justice for these radicals. The House Democrats simply want to take out the most successful president Americans have put in the Oval, the one who's made the economy soar, who speaks our language, who actually wants us to succeed, who took out two of the world's most dangerous savages, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi and Quds Force General Qasem Soleimani, with no civilian losses and no boots on the ground. The president who has made the world safer and brought Iran, the world's largest state sponsor of terrorism, to her knees. That's why he's so successful and why Americans love him. But Nancy, you don't care. His success offends you. You were a radical like AOC and Maxine Waters and Rashida Tlaib, where you all have but one mantra: resist, resist, resist. Nancy, you should be smarter than that. But I guess you hate him because Donald Trump changed the planned political establishment legacy order, where you guys, irrespective of party, scratch each other's backs like the Bushes and the Clintons. Your turn? No, your turn. You're up next. When you commandeered the meaningless War Powers Resolution after the Soleimani drone strike was over, trying to limit the president's ability to fight our enemy, you again showed your hypocrisy. When your pal Obama in 2011 decided to bomb Libya, where no American lives were lost, you said he didn't need congressional authority. So what did you earn by passing that partisan War Powers Resolution, sending that little love letter to the Ayatollah, other than to seemingly say, do what you must, we'll hold him back? Have you no shame? In the end, Nancy, your investigation was a partisan political joke on how to manipulate the truth and then have everybody swear to it. And after all the rushing, what did your dithering gain in your unprecedented refusal to forward the articles of impeachment to the Senate? Did you gain a political advantage? What did you get out of waiting, other than losing votes to the Republican Party? Admit it. You caved after Mitch McConnell gave you a deadline to either send over the articles of impeachment or simply watch the Senate move forward without them. That's right, Nancy. You simply caved. That's what happens when there is no case. Who said you were smart anyway?